This is the story of Kelechi and Ozioma, two inseparable friends, or so it seemed. They laughed, studied, and faced the world side by side. But beneath the surface, jealousy grew quietly, turning friendship into betrayal. And when the truth finally came to light, it was far worse than Kelechi could have imagined. And so it begins. The air in the police station was thick with tension. Two young women sat opposite each other, their faces bruised, their clothes torn. Kelechi and Ozioma, once inseparable, are now locked in a bitter feud. Behind the decks, the divisional police officer peered at them, his gaze stern yet curious. "What happened between you two?" he asked, his voice steady but firm. Kelechi, still catching her breath, shot a furious glance at Ozioma before turning to the officer. "Sir, she is wicked. She betrayed me." Ozioma scoffed, crossing her arms, but said nothing. The DPO leaned forward. "I need details," he said. "Start from the beginning." With a deep breath, Kelechi began. It all started in their first year at the university, where fate placed them in the same room as roommates and classmates, both studying fine and creative arts. From the moment they met, they became best friends, sisters, not by blood, but by bond. By their second year, the late night parties began. It was all in the name of fun, just youthful exuberance. But even with the countless nights of music, dancing, and reckless abandon, Kelechi remained focused on her academics. She excelled academically, effortlessly, while Ozioma struggled to keep up. At first, Ozioma admired her friend's brilliance, but soon, admiration cuddled into resentment. It didn't seem fair to her. How could Kelechi party just as hard, yet succeed, while she lagged? The seed of jealousy took root, unnoticed, in the shadows of their friendship. One fateful morning, the whispers began. "Kelechi has AIDS," someone murmured in the hostel hallway. "She's loose. No wonder she always parties." The rumor began to spread like wildfire. People avoided her, whispering as she walked past. Those people she called her friends became strangers to her. The stigma weighed on her, suffocating. Through it all, the only person who remained by her side was Ozioma, her supposed best friend. "They are just jealous," Ozioma told her, holding her hand. "Ignore them." But Kelechi couldn't ignore it. The accusations, the side glances, the shame, it was unbearable. With a heavy heart, she left school and traveled home to her parents. Her mother cried upon hearing what had happened. Her father, a man of wisdom, told her, "My daughter, the world feared those who shine. This is only a test. You are meant for greatness, and your enemies see it. Do not let them win." Their words reignited something in Kelechi, a fire of resilience. She would not let life define her. After spending 2 weeks at home, she returned to school, but she was no longer the same girl who sought validation at late-night parties. The fun was no longer worth it. Ozioma tried to pull her back into their old ways, but Kelechi refused. She had a dream to chase. With newfound determination, Kelechi immersed herself in her art. She became one of the brightest students in her department. Her artwork earned her accolades. Professors praised her. She also represented their university in exhibitions, winning trophies and making a name for herself. Outwardly, Ozioma clapped for her friend. Inwardly, she was filled with envy. The final year project exhibition was the pinnacle of their academic journey. The exhibition was a 3-day event where an external invigilator would grade the students on their artwork. Kelechi's project centered on the symbolism of a baobab tree, a symbol of resilience and wisdom. This masterpiece was the talk of the campus since it resonated with what she went through while in school and her perseverance. However, her closest friend Ozioma, driven by envy, sabotaged Kelechi's work by leaking false information that jeopardized her exhibition. She didn't paint that herself, people gossiped. She paid someone. Kelechi's work was taken down by administrative staff pending investigation. She was devastated. She had poured her heart into that piece. Who could have done this to her? She wondered. Once again, Ozioma was by her side, consoling her. On the second day of the exhibition, Kelechi received a call from a classmate. The girl sounded hesitant, but her voice was urgent. "Meet me outside the campus," she whispered. Sitting across from Kelechi in a small restaurant, the classmate hesitated before speaking. "I have to tell you something," she said. "Ozioma is behind everything." Kelechi's breath hissed. "What do you mean?" Her classmate replied. "She was the one that started the rumor about you having AIDS. She is also responsible for the fake news about your project," her classmate continued. "She told me everything last night at a party while she was drunk." Kelechi's blood boiled. Her best friend, the one she held while she cried, who stood by her through the rumors, was her greatest enemy. She stormed back to the campus and confronted Ozioma. "You," she screamed. "How could you? After everything we've been through." Ozioma rolled her eyes, unfazed. "You think you are better than everyone. Maybe now you understand how it feels to be nothing." Then fight erupted like a volcano. Students gathered. The commotion drew security and the police. The next thing they knew, they were at the station. Back in the DPO's office, the DPO turned to Ozioma. "Why?" he asked, disappointment evident in his voice. Ozioma, for the first time, looked remorseful. Tears welled in her eyes. "I was jealous," she admitted. "I let the devil use me." Kelechi was unmoved. "I want to sue her for defamation," she said. In school, the event had spread and everyone was aware of the evil her friend had done and how everything they heard was false information. Kelechi's name was cleared. The university reinstated her artwork and she showcased her masterpiece on the final day. The artwork, her baobab tree, was a beautiful painting. As she stood before her audience, the message of her piece was clear. Resilience triumphs over adversity. However, Ozioma, still locked up in the prison, missed the exhibition and was required to carry the course over to the following year. But as the days passed, something in Kelechi shifted. What was the point? She thought. Ozioma's reputation had already been damaged and she had paid the price of her jealousy. Kelechi then decided to drop the case and set her friend free. Kelechi's journey was a lesson that sometimes those closest to us are the very people who wish us harm. But in the end, truth prevails and light will always shine through the darkest betrayals.